So, you finished your project. Why do you feel so bad? Hi everyone. Welcome back to the Creative Exploration series. This week, I wanted to talk about something that I call post-project depression. And having talked to a lot of other creators in my life, I feel like this is something that almost everybody is affected with at one time or another, whether or not they actually know it. So what happens is, when you finish a project, you can sometimes spiral into this type of depression, which can make you feel aimless or listless. And really, if it goes on long enough, it can affect your creative momentum because you start feeling like you don't have that drive or that passion for your creativity like you did like a couple weeks ago. And really, this topic came up for me. Why I wanted to talk about it is because I'm suffering from that right now. I recently released a very small album for a game that my buddy is making. And even though the album is coming out today, I've been dealing with this for the past 2 days because all of the actual work for that album is complete. And I think that's really where the source of this post-project depression comes from. It's because your brain is so used to having patterns and routines. And when your project is getting close to the end, your mind is full of this project. Like, it's all you think about. You want to know what you can do to finish the project, how to market it, how to get it out there, how to get people interested in it. And when the project is suddenly over, you're left with this huge hole where the project was, and you don't have anything that's comfortable to occupy your mind in that hole, which creates this emptiness. And the emptiness can manifest itself as like lethargy or tiredness and really just straight up depression. Now, like, another way of thinking about this is when you're working on a project, you spend so much time and energy building something, and when that project is finished, you no longer need to invest your time or energy into it. So you have this gap that can't really be filled by anything else. And in one way, I guess there are similarities from this to like a very small episode of like postpartum depression. Though, in this case, instead of spending 9 months making a baby, you're spending a week to really, I guess, a couple of years on a creative project or your creative baby. So, how do you combat this? Well, like actual depression, I think that this really varies from person to person. There's no silver bullet that will solve every case of this. Sometimes it's as simple as starting something new just to fill that gap with another project. In my case, it's usually doing a bunch of different projects like this video or the Twitch streams that I've been doing more of lately. Sometimes all you have to do is just take a complete break from your creative work for a couple days or maybe even a week. Just sit around watching TV or playing video games. I know that's helped me in the past. And sometimes it's just simply socializing, getting out and talking to people and just kind of like recharging those batteries, those creative batteries. And it helps you get your mind off that big gap where your project was. Regardless, I think that really just knowing that this exists is one of the most powerful things that you need to actually fight it. Being able to think ahead and plan for having this kind of depression and allocating time to the process of dealing with these gaps can really immensely help deal with how hard that this can hit sometimes. Personally, I just usually give myself a few days after a release to just chill out and not work as hard. But like I said before, it really depends on the person. Like, sometimes people just need to keep working on something and just distracting themselves by filling that gap with something else. And this downtime that you might have is also a really great opportunity to spend organizing your future projects, because that does help continue building that creative momentum that you've been working on. And it also helps organize when you are ready to move forward again. So have you experienced post-project depression? Or do you have any stories about it or tips on coping? I'd love to hear them, and I'll be responding in the comments below. If you found this video interesting, please consider liking and subscribing to this channel. It helps a ton. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Be remarkable.